Joining us now, Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs. Congressman, welcome back to National Report. Okay, did Congressman Bowman get off the hook on this one? What's going on?
Yeah, he kind of rolled away from it. I mean, the committee put out this statement, and in their statement they say, oh, he was responding. He was actually not going to distract or detract from an actual vote process. He was going to a Democrat caucus meeting. Well, the reality is, I had been at that very door about 3 minutes before Mr. Bowman. I was going to vote with 4 or 5 of my colleagues. We saw that you couldn't go out, so we went around and we went into a different door and walked out to vote. The vote was going on when he pulled that fire alarm. The vote continued on after he pulled the fire alarm, and how do I know? Because it was still going off. My office is just down the hall from that door, and the alarm was still going off when I was going back from the vote, back to my office from the vote. So this clearly was done to slow down the vote, and for him to get away with it, he just skates. He just skates.
The congressman did speak with reporters after the incident. Here's that moment.
You remember that day, right? It was like, it was a lot going on. It was the vote to keep the government open. There was a motion to adjourn. So I was just in a rush, man, trying to get down the street. I was actually running to the Capitol at one point. So I was just in a hurry and didn't get a chance to do it. And, yeah, so that was all my bad.
Is that acceptable? This is all my bad.
No, that doesn't work. I mean, again, his very statement undermines what the Ethics Committee claims, that he was going to a caucus meeting, had nothing to do with obstructing a congressional process. But the reality is, he just told you in that video, he said, yeah, there was an adjournment motion, there was a vote going on, and I was hurrying to get to that. Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that I mean, good grief, he sees the sign, he pulls the fire alarm. I mean, that just is not consistent with somebody who's trying to get to a caucus meeting.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. The response, everything is so questionable. I think he even has the background as a school principal, so you definitely know what a fire alarm looks like. Congressman, while we got you, got to ask you about that breaking news overseas regarding American troops killed in Jordan. The president weighing some sort of a response. What would be appropriate?
Well, first of all, it's really an incredible tragedy. And we funded that. We funded that, and what the appropriate response would be, you're going to have to probably do some limited attack and target on the organizations that fired these weapons. Don't forget, there's been over 150 attacks in the last 2 weeks. And this happens because we're probably where we don't need to be, number one. Number two, this administration has empowered Iran and demonstrated effectiveness by returning the money. So you're probably going to need to issue the sanctions and try to claw back literally the $100 billion plus that the Biden administration has restored to Iran over the last 3 years, including $6 billion just a couple months ago. That is something that some of us predicted this would happen because they use it to fund these terrorist organizations. He needs to claw that money back and needs to issue sanctions. And he needs to do specific personalized sanctions as well.
And we have to move on, but as you said, I mean, more than 150 bases have been attacked, or U.S. areas have been attacked that we know of, actually 160 if we're being specific about it, including attacks in the Red Sea. Yet now we have more than 30 injured, Americans injured here, 8 seriously wounded, or at least that we've heard of, and 3 Americans dead. Do you find it troubling that American lives, the death of American lives, have now caused this administration to finally discuss actions rather than the 160 attacks that have already happened?
Yeah, it just shows the weakness that's there. It just drives me crazy. I mean, a week ago we were talking about how the spokesman for the White House said that these were non-serious injuries. He basically categorized a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, as non-serious. He said, that not serious injuries. And that also empowers these violent, soulless terrorists to keep attacking our men and women. And that has got to stop. And it's really a shame that we've come to this point where people are dying because of this administration's narrative and their policy.
All right, we'll have to leave it right there. Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs joining us on the program. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.